Hi guys, it's Shipbased here, and in this video I'm going to be taking you on a tour of Celebrity Apex. We enjoyed an 8-night Norwegian fjord cruise on this ship, and we really enjoyed it, so let's go and take you on a tour of Celebrity Apex. So let's start on deck 2. Now there was two things on this deck: Destination Getaway, which is where you would get on and off the ship. Because we're going to Norway, there's not really ports, so it was just all security, so I couldn't film a lot of it. And then they also had the basement, which is the teens club on board. I didn't get to go in it, but they had activities throughout the day. There was only literally 10 miners on board, so there wasn't much for them to do. Moving up to deck 3, we have Camp at Sea, which was the kids club on board between like 1 to 11. So they had lots of activities going on. Like I said, there wasn't actually many kids on board, so they didn't have much to do, but it did look good facilities. Moving to the midship on deck 3, we have the Martini Bar in the Grand Plaza, but we'll be getting onto the Martini Bar and the whole of the Grand Plaza. It spans over 3 decks. The Martini Bar is like stagnated over like 3 different levels, but we'll get into that when we do the full tour of the Grand Plaza. Now just moving behind the Martini Bar, you have the Eye Lounge, which is just a few seats and a bench, and then you have guest relations here as well. So there's just benches there with no seats, kind of weird. And here is guest relations. There was like 4 desks, didn't really see a queue, so it was really good. Moving to the back of deck 3, we have 2 of the main dining rooms. Normandy, this is the one we're going to look at first. So basically there's 4 main dining rooms on Celebrity Apex, and each one has the same like menu each night, but then each different restaurant has exclusives. But we sat at the same table, had the same waiter every night, and they would bring you the exclusives from other restaurants if you decided to do that. You could just queue up and wait for a table. This was a really nice restaurant. Now we're moving on to Tuscan. This was another one in the main dining room. And yeah, it's a really nice themed restaurant. And like I said, they all have different exclusives, so you could go at any time. And yeah, you would get a table. We did see the queues get quite long sometimes, but they did sit people quite quickly. And there's like this nice little lobby that links all 4 of the restaurants together, which is really nice. Moving up to deck 4, we have the theatre. This was quite a unique theatre with the circle stage and the big LED screen. It was really cool, and the shows were amazing. Definitely do not miss the shows on Celebrity Apex. This theatre was over 4 and 5. The accessible seats were on deck 4. And yeah, lots of seats, and also there was a lift that you could go around to the front, even if you were accessible. So it was really good facilities from Celebrity Cruises there. Just outside the theatre, they had the duty-free shop, which sold perfumes, alcohol, chocolate. It also doubled as a like Celebrity Cruises shop with the ship models, t-shirts, hats, shot glasses. If you wanted any souvenirs, this is the shop to go to. Just opposite this shop, they had the club. And this was one of the most multi-use arenas I have seen. They have loads of screens all over, so you can see the stage no matter what. They did game shows in here, talks. They had inflatable curling as well. They had, this is where it's a club. It was the nightclub. They also had bingo, deal or no deal. Loads went on in here. They had games you could just play that were on the table at the back. This went over between decks 4 and 5, so it's 2-story. They even had a show in it on the last night of the cruise, and it was a whole they had something here on the dance floor. There's a bar in there as well, so there is a drink service as well. Really good area of the ship. I would definitely recommend seeing your cruise planner to see what activities are going on in here. As we move to the back of the ship, they have Future Cruise. This is where you can book your cruise on board and get some sort of deals. You have to go and check out what they're offering when you're on board. Opposite that, they have shore excursions. This is where you can see what excursions are left and book them with people on board, so they can give you the best advice on what to do in your port of call. As we keep moving towards the Grand Plaza, we have the photo gallery. This is where you can have a look at your professional photos during the cruise. They also sell Apple devices here, like MacBooks, iPads and AirPods, which is quite interesting as well. Coming out of the photo gallery, you will enter the Grand Plaza on level 4, and you have Cafe Al Baccio. This is the main coffee shop on board. Very, very popular. This is the most busiest place by far. They would do pastries in the morning and then change it to like cookies or cakes in the evening. But the service in there was amazing. No matter how busy it was, you always got served. This is the amazing chandelier at night. They would do martini shows. You've probably seen it on social media where they juggle in all the stuff. Yeah, it's a really amazing atmosphere. They had DJs. They had silent discos in here. Really amazing atrium on the ship. I do have to admit, it was generally a really nice area to sit in the evening. So yeah, like I said earlier, the martini bar is stagnated over a few levels. There is a ramp to that middle one where the piano is, and then the seats even change. There's even like a booth at the bar. The martinis were really nice at this bar as well. It was just a really nice hub to the ship with that chandelier, and they did, like I said, the shows here as well. Now to the other side of the Grand Atrium on deck 4, we have La Grande Bistro. This was a specialty dining where they projected stuff onto the table, and basically like, the food would be made around you. I didn't do it myself, so put in the comments below if you have done it. I'll be really interested to see what the experience was. But yeah, this was specialty dining and you'd have to pay extra. They also had some a la carte stuff, so the prices are here if you want to have a look at it. Next door they had the Craft and Social Bar. This was basically like a sports bar slash English style pub. They had the same sort of channels Raw Caribbean have if you've been on there. They have Sports 24, a few American channels. I watched lacrosse at some point. You can get the same channels in your room as well, but the venue just seemed kind of small in my opinion, but it was always quite busy. And they also do food here, and there are the prices there if you need to pause. Moving to the back of deck 4, we have the casino. This was like a nice sized casino. It wasn't gigantic, but they had a lot of variety with lots of tables, slot machines. It never really got quite busy, but they also do a $5 free play throughout your cruise, so you definitely want to check out the Celebrity Cruises app or the cruise planner that they leave in your room. You don't want to miss out on that. And opposite the casino, they had the really expensive watch, jewellery and handbag shop. Now when I'm telling you, like, they're expensive, the Rolex in one of the windows was £30,000. There was a Louis Vuitton bag second hand that was like $3.5 grand. And then there was just FE jewellery that are just ridiculous amount of money. So yeah, if you win big in a casino, this will be the shop for you next door. All the way at the back of deck 4, we have the final two main restaurants, which is the Cyprus restaurant, which again had its own specialities. Each one was a bit themed, and it was like they even had music. Like in the Normandy one I was in, they had the French music. So yeah, it was all kind of themed, and the specials matched to where the place was that they named it after. Then we have the Cosmopolitan. This is where you would go for breakfast. It would be open every day for breakfast, and on lunch on sea days. So yeah, that will be the main restaurant that they use when you haven't got a dinner. They even have like these really weird like booth kind of chairs, which was really interesting. But yeah, these are the 4 main dining rooms to choose from. You can look at the menus before your cruise on the Celebrity app, so definitely check that out. Moving up to deck 5, at the front of the ship we have the Arts Gallery. That's all I have to say on that. And then as we move into the atrium on the top level, we have 2 specialty restaurants. Raw on 5, which was the seafood restaurant, which was amazing. Definitely go here. I had an amazing meal here, really nice. And also one evening they do a special Indian night they had on my sailing. Don't know if that's every single cruise. We didn't get to try it. It was lobster night. But yeah, really good experience here. So definitely book it. One thing I did like about the Grand Plaza on Celebrity Apex is how good it was linked. Just outside Raw on 5 they had stairs directly to deck 4, and then you could get down to deck 3 in the atrium, so it was like all really nicely flowed and put together. And the other restaurant was the steak restaurant. We did eat there on our cruise, and it was a really nice steak, everything that you would expect. Really nice restaurant that looked over the Grand Plaza. They also had outside seating, and with Raw on 5 as well, the magic carpet could come down with nice weather. We didn't see that in our Norwegian Fjords cruise. Magic carpet never moved at all. So yeah, really nice 2 specialty restaurants here. Just after the specialty restaurants, you had a little shopping area with Bulgar and Cartier, more expensive shops, and just a little atrium area. They also had a little seating area here with like this reindeer statue. And then walking through this really weird walkway that had weird sounds and weird art. Here we go through it now. This is to get to Eden. It was very interesting, but it fills a gap on the ship, you know. Had this weird guy looking at you. There was lots of weird faces on the ship. I'll get into another one near the buffet later on. As you come through this weird walkway, you will find this chair, which is really nice to have a picture with, another bit of art. And then you will find Blue, which is this was a suite restaurant. So if you were staying in a suite, not the retreat, this is just for suites. I don't know exactly what sort of food they did here because I wasn't in a suite, but it looks a really nice theme in the restaurant and it looks really, really nice. Next to the restaurant, they had Mont Blanc. Here they sold some watches, some bags, some pens as well, but it was very pricey, but yeah, it was a little shop here. So then we move on to Eden. Now this was a really unique area of the ship and I really liked it, like the theming. It was like a nature kind of theme. As you walk in, you will see like the weird kind of seats. They are really comfy, by the way. These seats right here, right at the entrance, there's a swing there. This spans over 3 decks, so you enter the one where the bar is, deck 5, only way to enter, then it goes up to deck 6, and then it goes down to deck 4, which is the restaurant. There is also a ramp all the way up from deck 5 to deck 6. There is a lift here as well, but there's lots of different seating, so if you want somewhere a bit quieter, a bit away from the rest of the ship, come here during the day. They do have activities on during the day, or even in the morning or late evening. They have shows in here as well. I didn't actually get to see one. We were watching more in the theatre. But yeah, we saw a little bit. Those chairs there facing that way, that amazing view of the wake, were not comfy. They were really weird chairs. But yeah, you get this amazing view of like, it reminds me a bit of Anthem of the Seas, which is like the 270, but it's just, I think this is such a better version of it. To have the restaurant, the bar, have this kind of seating. 270 just feels like there's a lot of empty space, and I think they've really used it well here. So yeah, this goes all the way up into deck 6. And yeah, there is the lift that goes to all the floors in here. Then we have the restaurant on the bottom level. This is a specialty restaurant. Oh, I threw the camera there. Specialty restaurant. It's supposed to be like, not like weird food, but it's supposed to be a bit of different sort of style food. It's a really nice location. You can book it on the pre-cruise planner. They also had a little cafe in there that was open for breakfast and lunch. They also had an outside area. This side extended the cafe. Then they did go the other way, and this was a smoking area. Some really interesting art around Eden as well. So yeah, this side was completely smoking. The other side was just for the cafe. There was a bit of an outside deck on deck 5, but it was mostly there. So if you wanted somewhere where you wanted some fresh air, but you didn't want to go top deck, this would be a good place. They did have some seats in the steak restaurant. Apart from that, this is literally what the whole of the deck 5 outside area was, apart from the little bits at Eden. So now we are going to get into the lift and go up to deck 12, because between 6 and still 12, there's only one thing on 12, is just rooms. I do have some cabin tours out. I did a cabin tour on my ocean view right at the front of the ship, spacious ocean view, and I've also done a tour of the accessible infinite veranda. If you're not too worried about the accessible, definitely check it out for the infinite veranda so you can see what's that like if you have got that cabin booked. Definitely worth a watch, so check that out on my channel. So as we come out to the lift, we've come out on deck 14, but editing has put us out at 12. On deck 12, they've got the restaurant for the retreat, situated at the front of the ship, because that's where most of everything from the retreat is. The rooms, the lounge, and the sun deck. I wasn't staying in the retreat, but I was lucky enough to get a tour, so I'll be showing the rest of the retreat later on in the video. But yeah, it looks a really nice restaurant, a lot bigger than I thought. I was looking at it the whole holiday. I did film it on like the last day, and yeah, it was surprising how big the retreat restaurant was. Now moving up to deck 14, at the front of the ship we have the spa. Now this was quite a big spa on the ship and quite expensive, with a thermal suite for 7 nights coming at £250 a person. It was a really nice thermal suite, to be fair. No swimming pool, but it had some nice heat beds. But it had this really big outdoor space on the front of the ship, and I don't really know what to use it for. Really nice view from the sauna. But yeah, like I said, they've got this massive space and they hardly use it. Really weird. But yeah, everything you expect from a thermal suite. Just past the spa, they had the solarium. This was a really nice area of the ship, and it had a pool and 2 hot tubs. It also had the hoist so you could use it if you couldn't just step into the pool yourself. It was fully covered and they had really big floor to ceiling windows. It was a really nice area. We spent a lot of time in here, and yeah, you never struggled to get a sunbed. And this was like at like 6-7 o'clock. I know it's dinner time, but if you wanted a late night swim, this was the place to go. Yeah, look at those views you get of Norway, especially. Really amazing. They also in here had the spa cafe and juice bar. Did really healthy food and juices. Like I said, this was a really nice area of the ship. Definitely somewhere to go. As you walk out of the stateroom, you will find the Mass Grill. This does cheeseburgers, turkey burgers, vegan burgers, hot dogs. This is where I went for lunch most of the time. Really nice area, and you just take it in the stateroom, so you don't have any of the healthy snacks. You have the cheeseburgers. Then you have the main pool area. There was a main pool on the lower level. Hot tubs were one up. But it was a really nice area with lots of sunbeds. Nice art with that big heart thing. There was also a bar here which kind of lit up at night as well. Yeah, it was a really nice area of the ship. And you had even stores around the bar. We had lunch there one evening. That's the thing that lights up. Some weird art around the ship. There was also these things around the bar, like I call them 14.5. One side was smoking, one side wasn't. But they're just a little extra seating. You could go there with your lunch, or you could just go there and relax. There was one on either side. One side went all the way to the top, one didn't. On one side of the pool deck, they had the cabanas. Now you could pay to use these. It would be different between port and sea days. I never seen actually anyone use them for my whole cruise. I saw people sat there, but I assume they just hadn't paid for it because there's like one person there. They seemed a bit overpriced for what they were charging, and especially the view was just nothing really. And then in this area, hanging off the side of the ship, you have the magic carpet. So this was situated on deck 14 my whole cruise. It never moved, which was a bit of a shame. I was hoping it would. We're having a look at this view. It took me ages to get this right angle. And I'm moving the camera. Now we're going sideways now. And yeah. So then there's the magic carpet. So basically this could move. You could be a tender, go right at the bottom, and be at the destination getaway. It can then also go to Raw on 5 and be an extension to there as well, and then it stays here as well. Apart from being a bar, it wasn't really anything else on my cruise. They didn't do the food in here. It can also be a restaurant on deck 14 as well, but you just get amazing views. Sometimes it was a bit windy. We didn't use it that much. We used it a bit on the first day, but yeah, I got a different view this time. Yeah, it seems like cool idea, but not sure if it was great. At the back of deck 14, you had the Ocean View Cafe. You had an entrance from the pool area, and you had the entrance from inside. That weird face art really was weird. Scary looking almost. So yeah, this was a really big buffet, lots and lots of seats, lots of selection. Sometimes the selection did feel a bit all over the place. But yeah, so they had an ice cream area, a pizza area at the back, and then it was just like the main food area. One thing I did really like about this buffet is that it was open all the time. Not food all the time, but it was just open so you could sit, and there was like a bar in there, so you could have a relaxing evening there. On other ships I've been on, they just close the buffet up, and that's it. There was also really nice outside seating, and then stairs to the bar upstairs as well, which was really handy as well. But yeah, really nice buffet. At the front of deck 15, moving up, we have the Retreat Lounge. Now this was exclusive to people in the retreat, and it was an area where you could get coffee, little snacks, probably talk to concierge. Like I said, I'm not in the retreat. I was very lucky to get access to this. Very nice lady that let me through. And yeah, nice outdoor area there as well, but I don't really know fully what they did there. Now 15 and 16 in the public areas were really quite confusing because you just use the running track to get to both, so I'm including what was on 16 in 15 because it makes sense. So then they had the 2 chandelier whirlpools. Like I said, they're based on deck 16, but the way you get to it is from deck 15. So yeah, they had really amazing views. They were quite large as well, so they could fit quite a lot of people in. So really amazing place to watch like the sail away, sunset. Really nice area. The running track was actually a figure of 8, and it went up and down, went round the rooftop area that we're about to go and show you. They also had table tennis, and this was like outside, but it was in a really good area, so you didn't get any wind, so it didn't affect the table tennis. Because sometimes you're on ships and they fly away. So yeah, really nice area of table tennis. Then we have the rooftop garden moving to the back of deck 15. This was a really nice area with real plants, nice big seats. They showed movies there regularly. They also had pickleball as well. So it was a really nice area. They were really comfy seats as well, and especially in the Mediterranean or somewhere a bit hotter, the Canary Islands, this would be a really nice area. The rooftop garden grill was a specialty restaurant. You have to pay extra, but due to it being a Norwegian fjord cruise, I didn't really see it very popular. So like I said, this is definitely for those hotter weather cruises. Then we have the sunset bar at the back of the ship. Now this was a really nice bar to watch sail away. We watched the sail away from Geringer, and they actually did like 360s around the Seven Sisters waterfall. It was an amazing area. Definitely would recommend, if the weather's nice, to come here because you get amazing views of everywhere. And at the front of deck 15, I almost forgot the fitness centre. This is just before the retreat, right at the front of the ship, just above the spa. They have loads of running machines, bike machines, weights, everything that you would ever want in the gym. It is here for you to use. Free of charge. So yeah, they did charge for classes and stuff, but yeah, a really nice view as well from the gym right at the front of the ship. Moving up to deck 16, we have the retreat sun deck and also retreat bar. So like I said, I was very lucky to get access to this on day one. It had an amazing pool. Look at those hanging little things in the pool. They'd be really cool to use. Lots and lots of sunbeds, big cabanas. There's a bar there as well. You'd be really looked after in the retreat. Like I said, I didn't get to stay here, so I don't know what the level of service actually was. It looked amazing. So I hope everyone in there had an absolute great cruise and being pampered like royalty. Now, thank you very much for coming along with me on my Celebrity Apex tour. If you have any questions, do not hesitate and put them in the comments below. I would be more than happy to answer any questions you may have about the Celebrity Apex. We really enjoyed our 8-night cruise, so I'll be doing a review, so definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. It's been Shipfaced here. If you like what you see, please press the like button and subscribe to our channel. It's very much appreciated, and it really does help me out. If you want to join the Shipfaced crew and help me make more content like this, link in the description below to go and check that out and find out all about the Shipfaced crew. Thank you so much for watching. It's very much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.